In 2005, the Nissan Pathfinder grew in size to accommodate a third row of seats. At the time, I criticized that choice because I thought the bigger size of the Pathfinder might intimidate and eliminate some buyers that really don't feel comfortable with a big truck. And now Nissan is taking an even bigger risk with the introduction of the newly updated Nissan Pathfinder, now with an optional V8 engine. Timing is everything, and timing couldn't be worse as we're heading into record high gasoline prices. The Pathfinder is a truck, a real truck based on a pickup truck platform. You see, the Pathfinder shares its chassis with the bigger Armada, and both are derived from the Titan pickup, so getting a V8 in this thing is as easy as cut and paste. Styling has been tweaked as well. One thing I wish they had addressed, though, is the door handle on the back door. Put it down a little bit lower and made it a conventional design, because where it is now, little kids won't be able to reach it. That means that mom and dad always have to do all the work. The headlights and hood have been updated along with a more square back end. The V8 is only offered on the top LE version, starting at $49,298. And for your cash, you get a V8 badge and bigger 18-inch wheels. Not only did Nissan update the outside of the 08 Pathfinder, they also tweaked the inside, and in the case of the V8, added more features. The dash is new. The center stack is common to other Nissan products, and it works well enough. We especially like the Navi screen that doubles up as a backup camera. The materials are better than the older model, but on the doors the inclusion of harder plastics is a bit disappointing for an almost $50,000 truck. The V8 gets you a Bose 6CD changer, XM SAT radio, leather heated seats and heated steering wheel, sunroof and wood trim. Now, I mentioned the Pathfinder is big enough to wedge in 3 rows of seats, but that doesn't mean you get a lot of room. The problem with most midsize SUVs with 3 rows is that they aren't particularly comfortable for passengers or for getting in and out of. This truck has a second row that isn't that big in the legroom department. The access to the third row is small, and the third row is really for occasional use only. If you really need to move a bunch of people around, the bigger Armada is much more comfy. So who would need a V8 powered Pathfinder? Well, somebody that needs a truck-based SUV with competent 4x4 capabilities and the power to get the job done. This isn't so much about Nissan coming out with a V8 just for the sake of it. This vehicle is direct competition for the American truck makers that make powerful SUVs with V8 power plants. The base 4-liter V6 is the motor found in the S and SE with a respectable 266 horsepower and 288 pound-feet of torque. The V8 is the same engine found in the Armada and Titan pickup. It's a 5.6-liter motor with 310 horsepower and 100 more torque than the regular V6 at 388 pound-feet. Okay, do yourself a favor. If you're going to the Nissan dealer and you're test driving a Pathfinder, start with the V6. If you're happy with that, do not, I warn you, do not drive the V8, because once you've had a spin in it, you're going to want it. It's addictive power. I remember when I drove the Titan pickup truck with this beautiful V8 under the hood and the very slick 5-speed automatic transmission, just pure bliss to drive. You put your foot into this Pathfinder and it just eases away with so much torque. It's very addictive. It's fast. It's fun fast. It's the kind of fast I like, but it all comes at a cost. In the city, the V8 uses 17 liters per 100 kilometers or 17 miles per gallon. And on the highway, 11.4 liters per 100 kilometers or 25 miles per gallon. But our onboard computer had our mileage much worse than that. But what the V8 offers is more power for towing, 1,000 pounds more towing capacity. The V6 can haul 6,000 pounds and the V8 7,000 pounds. Now, I love the engine, but I also am really quite impressed with the suspension in the Pathfinder. Even though it's a truck-based SUV, the ride is quite smooth and comfortable over nice pavement. It's only when you get under very uneven pavement that the roots of this vehicle, the pickup truck basis from which it's made, starts to show signs. You get a little bit of flex over bumps, but overall it's pretty good. Now, we sit up very high in the Pathfinder, so when you get it into corners, it's not going to do the kind of maneuvers you expect from a sports car. Overall, quite impressive. This Nissan Pathfinder is part of a dying breed of truck-based SUVs. You see, today, all the rage are crossover vehicles. Those are utility vehicles that are based on a car platform. But if you're somebody that needs to tow, go off-road, and have to have 4x4 capability, then a vehicle like this definitely does impress, especially with a V8 engine. But timing's everything in the auto industry, and I think a V8-powered Pathfinder, the timing couldn't be worse. Unless that was a V8 diesel.
Want to buy a new car but can't decide? Go to driving.ca and do your own research by using the comparison tool.